Now, I had my first failure. In the 8 years I've been doing hypnotherapy, whether it be through quit smoking or quit vaping or quit dope or weight loss or any of those categories that clients have come to me over the years, I have all the feels right now of a particular client that did not quit smoking after one session, and I failed. Quite frankly, I feel a little bit gobsmacked. With 137 successes so far for any amount of becoming a non-smoker or non-vapor or non-pot smoker for life, 137 of them in the last 8 years, and this was the first one that didn't go according to plan, or at least not from his point of view. I took him through the same process I took all the previous 137 people, followed the rules, followed the scripts. The thing is, hypnotherapy is a do with process, not a do to process. And for those of you who have never experienced hypnotherapy, it is the most phenomenal modality. It's such a beautiful technique. It's so calming, it's so relaxing, it's actually so easy. But it also is fully reliant on the client. There is absolutely nothing I can do as a hypnotherapist that can change the outcome if the client is not listening, not paying attention, not participating properly, if he's blocking it, if he's choosing to listen to any surrounding noises. And the thing is, it's even within the hypnotherapy script that any external noises actually allow you to go deeper and deeper into relaxation. And it's deliberately in there because sometimes a car will drive past, or sometimes a dog will bark in the neighborhood, or someone will start their lawnmower. The thing is, no environment can be controlled to 100%. Period. It's as simple as that. I'm not in control of the bus that goes past. And it's not like I can schedule the appointments to avoid said bus if they come every hour. So this is why we have those things in place and those contingencies in place that really allow us to make sure that the clients will get the most out of their session. And of course, I went through the session the same way I always would, followed the checklist. There's actually a checklist to make sure that every client gets the same information, that every client is told exactly what hypnotherapy is and what to expect. Excuse me. You see that the session or the pre-session before we even go into hypnosis is an hour in itself, because this is where we get to ask all the different triggers, all the different pros and cons, all the different positives and negatives. And it's set up deliberately that a newbie at hypno can be comfortable and can be safe and feel confident that the process is going to work so beautifully for them. And this is where we inform clients that if they've got the idea that what we're about to do is anything close to like a stage hypnosis session, well, no, it's different to that, because a stage hypnosis session where people cluck like chickens and wear, lampshades on their head, very selective people have been chosen for that. Those people who are introverts and those people who will allow themselves to behave like that. In a normal hypnotherapy session, unless I'm working with someone who has those values and wants to cluck like a chicken and be on stage to perform, the reality is I can't do that to anyone, because hypnosis is a do with process, not a do to process. So no amount of my amazing skill is going to change whether someone clucks like a chicken. If they don't want to cluck like a chicken because it's not within their values, then they won't. So that's the whole point of the pre-talk, is to help calm people and be confident that the process they're about to go to is actually a really beautiful, calming relaxation therapy where wonderful suggestions are installed, but it never stops their free will. It never overrides their free will. They have choices the whole time. They are in charge. Not me. They are. So if at any point they feel uncomfortable, they would simply open their eyes. At any point they may feel, that they're not following the suggestions properly, they can simply open their eyes. But hypnosis and hypnotherapy is such a beautiful process where all the client needs to do is follow the suggestions. And the suggestions are put in there so beautifully that that's exactly how to rewire the unconscious mind, by simply listening to a pile of suggestions. And suggestions that are tailored for that person, because we've spent over an hour determining what that person wants to achieve and what they want to let go of and what they want to bring into their life, and customizing the suggestions so it's perfect for them. So like any situation where there's a coach or a hypnotherapist, the coach can't do it for them. I can't do the work for him. I can't do it for you. I can't do it for anyone. The reality is, if I want to make change, I've got to put the work in myself, and no amount of hiring amazing coaches is going to change that fact, that the work needs to be done by self. So it's very interesting that I've taken this one quite personally, and that I feel so disappointed, maybe upset, probably because I've had 8 years of such amazing success where every person that has sat in the hypno chair has walked out and gone, that was great, Kim, I feel amazing. And then when I follow up with them in a couple of days, they still feel amazing. And this one was no different. They got up, said that they felt amazing, walked out of our space, shook my hand, wanted to give me a hug, but pulled himself away from that, and that's fine. And left on a really cheery note. So the fact that I got the feedback straight away, or not straight away, but soon after that, to go, not happy, Kim, I was gobsmacked. To like, what do you mean you're not happy? That we did everything we normally do. So it's been very interesting how I've felt about this, because I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to get their life goals and achieve what they want to achieve. And quitting smoking is absolutely one of those things that I love helping people do, because it's overcoming the beast. It's overcoming the thing that controls people. Obviously, there's a lot of health ramifications as well for someone to continue to smoke, but it's more than that. It's the control that they feel like this thing has. It's the fact that they feel controlled. It's the fact that they are disappointed with themselves every time they make a bad choice. And this is what I love about hypnotherapy, because it helps rewire those choices to make quitting so much easier. Now, there's still work involved. It's not like I've just rewired you and you've got to do no effort. And that's explained to them from the start. Of course, you've got to do effort. Just like if you hire a personal trainer, you've still got to put the work in. If you hire a private coach, you've still got to put the work in. And it's very interesting when I have these, when I've had this come up, because it's just made me think even more and more about the coaching industry and all of that. At the end of the day, coaches or hypnotherapists are simply facilitators. They can't do the work for you. If you hire a basketball coach, they can give you all the tips, all the tricks, all the advice, all the mindset, all the strategies, all of that sort of stuff. But it's actually up to the player to go and practice those skills and practice those techniques and practice those strategies in the order that they were told to do it in order to get the outcome. And I would hate to think there's parents out there that would hire a coach and go, well, you didn't fix my kid because they're not, shooting 3-pointers straight away on the day that they were taught. And then, I want a refund because they're not shooting 3-pointers yet. Like, we could see that as ridiculous, considering that kid then has to go and practice that skill over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes cemented in their muscle memory. Well, hypnotherapy enables the suggestions to happen so that way the wiring has changed, but it's still up to the client to follow the suggestions. And when this particular client had told me they don't even get cravings, I thought this was an absolute like shoo-in, that we were home and hosed, because if someone doesn't even get cravings, what would make them want to go and buy a cigarette or have another cigarette if they don't even get cravings? That didn't even make sense to me, that someone would go and choose to fail. So it's been a really interesting opportunity for me to really understand that regardless of how much I want it, and regardless of how much I want to help and make impact in this world, I still can't do it for people. I still can't change their free will. I still can't change their decisions, because they're their decisions, not mine. I can suggest, I can install, I can support, but I can't do it for them. Just like any coach I've hired in the past can't do it for me. That's up to me. So I'll have to sit on that one for a moment and see whether I can come to terms with it for myself, that this is their free choice and they have free choice, and this is their own life lessons, and I did my job. I did the same thing that I have done for 137 other people that have succeeded on the first go to quit their vice. And this particular one, well, for me, I did my job. And it's up to that person, the client, to do this. Feel free to comment below. This has been a really interesting challenge, but one that I will work through as I work through all things, taking personal responsibility, because that's all I've got. Funnily enough, I did spend quite some time talking cause and effect with this person, that it's up to them what they cause to come into effect. And when I give very explicit instructions that if there are any cravings or waves, as I call them, please call me or text me before you take any action on those waves, so that way we pattern interrupt, break the pattern before you end up buying cigarettes or vapes or whichever one it is. Because the pattern interrupt in itself will often ride the wave long enough that there is no action. And I didn't get that phone call. I didn't get that text message. I got blame, that it was my fault and they weren't happy. And well, that's part of their journey. And I get to make it part of mine, so that way I can learn from it and keep moving forward, helping those people that are actually ready to follow my suggestions and make the change. 137 successful people, successful outcomes. Now one that didn't follow instructions. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.